I think we're talking about another social, political, and financial issue here that I just recently spoke to a former board member. I won't mention the company because I don't want to pass on any information that we hadn't agreed upon beforehand. But this board member was telling me of a situation where this large conglomerate who had bought up a lot of local, national companies had a series of different CEOs that came in and streamlined the business, okay? They would close down one production site, although that production site was well established within the community, the local community, had tradition in that community, had actually fairly good local sales, but purely out of numbers, they said, no, we're going to close. We're going to reduce this location here without telling anybody. We're going to kind of do it in secrecy. We're going to cover the production from the next city. And although this was a violation of tradition and local understanding of this company, the argument was, and the local factory had a margin of somewhere around 24%. P&L, and that still wasn't good enough. The company was demanding 34%, which I'm like, are we killing part of our potential economy by an exaggerated understanding of what profitability, how high profitability needs to be? If you look at the German automobile industry, which is in dire straits right now, partly through competition from China, partly through...
it's not the Chinese competition.
I wouldn't say it's completely them, but some of their economic decisions they made and investments, and which is part of the game. I'm not even criticizing here. But I often ask myself the question, are we as a society kind of subject to what I call a profit growth mania, where we think that if we have a good product, we have to have exponential growth for eternity, and that's unrealistic. I think this is a societal and political and economical issue that most companies, I think most companies, if they would say, listen, you know what, let's only grow so far because the market only gives you so much, and we can live well and we won't be in dangers, and then we'd be able to cover the margins or the reserves for unexpected technological shifts or disruption or black swans. I think that strategic awareness is lacking a little bit. What's your opinion there?
We are at a topic where one of my favorite metaphors of project management applies again, and this is navigating between two monsters. There's a monster on the right.
Which I think we had it on the classical wicked problem, right?
Yeah, I think we discussed this already in our first talk. Navigating between two monsters means there's a monster on the right, there's a monster on the left, and you have to find your way between those two. Yeah, could be trade-offs. It could simply be this is the right way to go. Yeah, you see, waterfall and agile. There is something in the middle.
Yeah, there's absolutely.
There is something in between. Yeah. So what we see here is on the one side we see greed. Greed is a monster. Yeah. On the other side we see an organization maybe running projects for paying customers that doesn't cover its needs. Yeah. So the straight is it should be need, not greed. It should be on a level that is sound for the organization, that's maybe sound for the society, for economics, and so on. I know most managers don't care about that too much, but it must be somewhat sound. If you become too greedy, you will lose a lot. Think of Boeing currently. They were so greedy that they developed the 737 MAX as a safety disaster. Think of Ford with it's long ago, I know, but with a Pinto disaster.
Saving money in the wrong places.
GM with a saddle tank.
Sense.
Think of Volkswagen with their, meanwhile, two disasters. The first one was...
Just think about all the companies, Toyota included, companies that are having to recall thousands of cars.
Yes.
Because their engines are defect.
They did something wrong there.
Well, I mean, and you know, how long have they been in the business?
Airbags.
Yeah.
Airbags. Yeah. The Japanese manufacturer of airbags, I don't remember the name, went bankrupt over a poor product which didn't work. Yeah. So no, but what we see is there is somewhere a middle way, and you clearly have to say 5 to 10% profit from making projects, from doing projects for paying customers, including all those indirect costs. This is simply not enough, because you have to build reserves for times when things go badly, when the going gets tough. Yeah? Then you need some reserves for that. You need more for that. And there's this greedy side on the other side. I fully agree with you. Yeah? But there is somewhere in the middle. There's somewhere in the middle is a way.
Now what you're talking about, and this is something that I think we've all noticed in the last years as well, is this concept of polarity, right? It's either black or white. Most people see black or white. They although most of
they don't see the tension field, the gray shades.
They don't see the range of possibilities.
Yeah.